This GitHub project has 38,000 stars, and it claims to turn your AI coding assistant into an entire video production studio for as little as 2 cents a video. You type one sentence and a finished video comes back, narrated, scored, captioned, and rendered on your own machine. Free, it's open source, setup is one command, and I paid exactly $0 for everything you're about to see. So we'll break down what it is, how it works, then install it and make a real video with it live. And I'll judge that video against the AI video factory I built myself. Let's jump in. This is OpenMontage, and it calls itself the first open source agentic video production system. And before we get into what that mouthful means, look at the wave. This thing went live at the end of March. 15 weeks later, it's sitting at 38,000 stars. It's been the #1 trending repository on all of GitHub, and it's pushing new code as of 2 days ago. That's not a side project. That's one of the fastest growing AI tools of the year. And here's the part that matters for you. It's not another app you sign up for. It plugs into the AI assistant you already use, Claude Code, Cursor, Copilot, whatever you've got, and turns that assistant into the director of your videos. Because think about what actually eats your week as a creator. Researching the topic, writing the script, recording a voiceover, finding music you're allowed to use, cutting the edit, syncing captions word by word, rendering it all out. Every one of those is its own tool, its own skill, its own afternoon. OpenMontage's pitch is that all of that collapses into one sentence. You describe the video you want, and your agent handles the research, the script, the narration, the music, the captions, and the final render, start to finish. And it's not one trick either. It ships 12 different pipelines. Animated explainers, documentary montages from real footage, avatar spokesperson videos, a clip factory, even a pipeline that turns a podcast into shorts. Each one is a complete production line sitting there waiting for a sentence from you. And my favorite entry point, you don't even need an idea. You can paste a YouTube short or a TikTok you love, and it analyzes the pacing, the structure, the hook style, and pitches you 2 or 3 original concepts in the same shape with a cost estimate before it generates a single asset. Starting from a video you already love beats, starting from a blank page every time. So how does that actually work? Here's the clever part, and this is the same idea my own factory is built on, so trust me, this is the right architecture. OpenMontage barely contains any traditional app logic. Instead, it's a giant playbook. When you ask for a video, your agent reads the playbook, it picks the right pipeline, and that pipeline tells it which stage comes next and which skill file to read before doing any work in that stage. The repo advertises 52 tools. I actually counted, and there are 101 registered in there. Everything from text-to-speech to scene detection to a full render engine, 721 skill files. The intelligence lives in those instructions, not in the code. And the system has real discipline. At every creative decision, the script, the visuals, it stops, shows you the plan on a live production board, and waits for your approval before spending a cent. Now, you might be thinking, don't Sora and Runway and a dozen SaaS tools already make videos? Sure, on their servers, on their subscription, inside their box. This is a different animal. It's an orchestrator that runs on your machine. You bring whatever keys you want, it picks the best tool you have access to, and everything it builds is yours. The project files, the edit decisions, the renders. And here's the moment I had to laugh. OpenMontage has 2 render engines under the hood, and one of them is Hyperframes, the exact same open source engine my own video factory renders with. The video you're watching right now, same engine. So when I tell you I know this architecture from the inside, I mean it literally. But let's be honest about the numbers on the tin, because this is where every AI tool video lies to you. The demo videos on their README come with receipts, a Pixar-style animated short for $1.33, a product ad for 69 cents, a full history piece for 2 cents. Those numbers are real, but read the fine print. Every one of those was made with paid API keys plugged in. Kling for the motion, Flux for the images, Cloud Voices for the narration. So what do you get with 0 keys? The version they claim needs no money at all. I measured it, 37 of the 101 tools light up, no image generation, no AI video generation. What's left is motion graphics, a free local voice, free music, and open archive footage. That's still a real production stack, so that's exactly what I tested. 0 keys, $0, 1 sentence in. Install is genuinely one command. It pulls the Python environment, the React-based composer, the free local voice, and caches the render engine. On my Mac, it finished clean on the first try, no errors, no fiddling. And then you just open the folder in your AI assistant and ask. Before it starts, it runs a pre-flight and shows you a capability menu. Here's what I have available. Here's what each thing costs. Here's my plan. With my empty key file, 37 free tools lit up, every one of them stamped $0. Free voice, free music, the full render engine, caption generation, even a quality checker that reviews the final video. All of it local, none of it build. My total budget for this experiment, also $0. One small heads up if you try this, activate the project's own environment first, or have the tools report themselves missing when they're actually installed. So I gave it 1 sentence, make me a 60-second animated explainer about how AI agents can automate a YouTube channel, energetic, with music and word-level captions. And then I just watched it work. 8 stages fired in order: research, proposal, script, scene plan, assets, edit, compose, publish. It researched the topic, it wrote the script and read it aloud with the local voice. It scraped a real music bed from a free library. No key needed. It built every scene as animated motion graphics, burned in karaoke captions, and rendered the whole thing. And the discipline is real. At 5 separate creative decisions, it stopped and refused to continue without an approval. The system literally throws a gate violation error if you try to skip one. Total time on my machine, 41 minutes. Their manifest promises 20. Still, from 1 sentence, unattended, that's not bad. Question is, what came out the other end? This is what it made. This is the actual file, untouched, 61 seconds, 1080p, and it cost exactly $0.
What if you hired 4 employees for your YouTube channel and paid them nothing? That is what AI agents are. 86% of creators already use AI, saving 9 hours every week. Employee 1. The researcher.
And look, the structure is genuinely there. It invented an angle I didn't give it. Your channel's 4 AI employees: a researcher, a scriptwriter, a designer, a publisher. The captions are the standout. Word-level karaoke sync, styled to match the theme. And when I retranscribed the audio, 131 of 133 script words came through. That's tighter than some human edits. The music bed it scraped for free actually fits the pacing, and every scene is animated, cards spring in, counters tick up, nothing just sits there. But the honest verdict, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. The voice is the giveaway. Flat, robotic. The energy I asked for is carried entirely by the music. The visuals are real motion graphics, but they've got that templated look, and there's a spot where 2 labels collide on screen. It's a solid draft your channel could build on. It is not something I'd upload as is, and getting there was bumpier than the README suggests. 3 things you should know before you try this. 1. The free voice, the entire $0 narration story on a Mac, was broken out of the box. My agent had to literally perform surgery on a compiled library just to make it speak. 2. The free rendering path argues with its own rulebook. The format the renderer wants is the format the pipeline's checker forbids, so the agent has to bend the rules to ship. And 3. The audio render fails until you discover an undocumented trick for where files have to live. None of this is fatal. An AI agent pushes through all 3, which is honestly the best sales pitch for agentic software I've ever seen. And to be fair, the engineering underneath is legit. The approval gates are real, and after rendering, it probes its own output, samples frames, and checks its own audio levels before showing you anything. This is a 15-week-old project moving very, very fast, rough edges included. So, did the 38,000 star factory beat mine? Not yet. Mine narrates with a clone of my actual voice. Theirs shipped a robot. Mine pins every graphic to the exact word being spoken. Theirs assembles polished templates. Mine keeps a human in the loop at every stage. Theirs had to approve itself because nobody was home. But I'll tell you what I'm stealing That gate system, hard checkpoints that physically refuse to continue without approval, that's better than what I built, and mine's been running for months. Here's the two-lane answer. If you're a builder with a coding assistant and a couple of API keys, this is the most complete open source video system I've seen. With image and video keys plugged in, those 2 cent demos become your ceiling too. If you've never touched a terminal, give it 6 months. This is moving at a pace where the rough edges won't survive long. Zoom out, because the real story is bigger than one tool. Video production just became something an AI agent does end-to-end in the open on your machine, and 38,000 developers start it in 15 weeks. That future isn't coming. It's on GitHub right now. If you want to start a business using AI agents, come check out our community in the description down below. It's where we go deep on exactly this kind of stuff. And check out this video right here, where I made Claude Code talk like a caveman to cut my token bill. Another free tool, torn down the exact same honest way. Click it on the screen right now.